What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream today. We will be discussing the latest Arsenal transfer news as well as looking ahead to the game against Wolves. A bit of a quieter day today, to be honest. I've just come back from recording Talkish Cheap Show with Laurie, so make sure you look out for that. Should be out around 7 o'clock this evening on AFTV, so make sure you check that one out. Big up to each and every one of you for tuning in on this Tuesday, reporting live from the Emirates, man. Do you know what? I need some new backgrounds, actually, for the green screen, so if anybody's got any good wallpapers or anything, any Arsenal related, or even if you've made a few, hit me up on Twitter, people. And the DMs are open, man. I'm looking for some new green screens. This one, I think, will work for a little bit, though. I like this one, I can't lie. Buddy said, C Unit, C Unit, big up each and every time. I think that one's really stuck now, ain't it? We're going to keep going with that one, man. Yeah, man, we have to stand up if we ain't Tottenham, you know. You know how the thing goes already, man. We have to stand up. Hey, big up Chris, man. He said, hey, Big C, big up to you, bro. Curtis Shaw Teta, I mean, is that a major diss, really? Listen, he's doing all right at the moment, so I take it. But boy, man, I don't know about that one, you know. Sean said, big up, bro. Work from home. Need that Arsenal fix. You get me? I know, man. I know. You need that little, that little Arsenal fix every day just to know what's happening. I was down at the Emirates today, actually. I did a little bit of filming before I did Talk is Cheap. And they are, by the looks of it, already doing paint and stuff on the outside of the ground. Obviously, they were talking about they were going to fix up the stadium and paint it and this, that, the other. There was builders on the roof today, so it looks as if work has already started, people. Pay said, what, me dog, yo, me good, man, me good, brethren. Can't complain, you know. Big up Jeff, big up Curtis in the amazing community, 100%. Craig, Curtis, big up, bro. I appreciate it, Craig, hope you're well. Mr. War said, watching on my lunch break. Big up, man, like Big C. Big up to you. Big up to each and everyone in the community. Stocktastic, Joao Felix coming to Arsenal. Listen, as I say, don't shoot the messenger. I'm only delivering the news. I'm not saying it's going to happen. Go easy on me, people. Go easy. And I ain't talking about the Adele song, by the way, and I won't start singing that one. I don't want to ruin your eardrums. Big up, Snake Eyes. Hope you're well. And listen, let's get into the latest news, people. Let's go into Granit Xhaka mode. He actually had a half-decent game on the weekend, so let me give credit where credit's due. Apart from when he told man, don't give me that stinking captain's armband. But we won't talk about that too much. Don't forget, people, today's video sponsored by Spitch. Link in the description below. Fantasy football app, completely free if you're in the UK or Ireland. There is a paid version, so you do have to be 18, but stick with the free one. They won't thank me for saying this, but stick with the free version. And as I always say, you can win up to £70,000 each week. So have a go. Why not? Nothing to lose, but stick to the free version. So big up to them. And don't forget, follow me on Twitch, people. The Twitch link is in the description as well. If you're on Twitch, you want to see additional content, I'm trying to sort out my FIFA team so that when I turn up on Twitch, I'm looking proper, you know. I don't want to turn up with gold cards that aren't good enough. I need icons. I need proper players. So, yeah, I'm on my way, people. I'm on my way. Right. Let's get into the news today, people. Make sure you smash that like and subscribe on this video as well. Before we get into the more hyped up news and players potentially coming in, the first news story of the day that I want to talk about is regarding Ainsley Maitland Niles, and it doesn't look like it's going particularly well for our Ainsley. Our Ainsley looks like he's going to be on his way back to Arsenal in the summer. He's made 6 appearances in Serie A since joining. 3 of them starts, according to this, and 3 off the bench. And the report coming out of Corriere dello Sport today is that Ainsley Maitland-Niles has failed to make any impact so far at Roma, and he's showing technical limitation. Unless he improves quickly, he will be seen as a real flop. Wow, that is damning, people. Oof. Those words, man, technical limitation. The man grew up, born and raised under Arsene Wenger. He's gone to Italy, and these men are saying, yo, this brother ain't cutting it. He's played at right back. He's played at right wing back. This midfield dream that he seems to have, he's done. You know Mourinho. Mourinho's cutthroat. He says it as it is. You know, Mourinho got sent off at the weekend for I don't know if anybody's seen it. One thing about Mourinho, that brother's entertaining, man. Apparently, he told the fourth official that Juventus must have paid him to do it, and he criticised the ref. He kicked the ball away. I think he's getting a 2-match ban. But yeah, this story coming from Corriere dello Sport, and apparently a source from Roma says he's showing technical limitation, which is difficult, man. It's not nice to read. Fofty's ruined, people saying. Flopty, says Jack. Clement said, we ruined him at Arsenal. This is painful to hear. Mourinho bought Ainsley Maitland Niles just to diss Wenger. Oh, man. Oh, my J's never got the impression Ainsley wanted it enough. Doesn't surprise me. Fofty floppy. Damn, that's harsh. You don't often hear that, do you, about a player, you know, technical limitations. Chris said Jose is just elite. He is, man. He is. You can't deny it. No, AS Roma trying to bring Ainsley Maitland-Niles price down. I actually don't think they are, Alan. I really don't, because they're not playing him. If they were playing him and kind of dissing him, I'd say, nah, they're using tactics to pretend they don't want him. He's on the bench. He's not playing. So I don't think it's that. And you know Mourinho, man, what if he don't like you, it don't happen, you know. Big up my brother Fran in the chat. He said, come on, we said he's not good enough. You know the thing, I just look at Ainsley. I've said this probably 10, 15 times over the last 2 or 3 years. Ainsley had a huge opportunity a couple of years ago when Hector Bellerin did his cruciate ligaments in his knee. It gave Ainsley Maitland-Niles 12 months to become Arsenal's first choice right back. Now, there were mixed reports. Some reports were that he didn't want to play at right back. He still wanted to play in midfield. I know somebody who knows Ainsley's agent, and he said that that wasn't true. Ainsley was saying, I'm willing to play at right back, but I still consider myself a centre midfielder. I kind of think that Ainsley should have got his head down at that time and said, listen, I want to be a centre mid, but it's not going to happen. I'm a great believer in football. You play where you're going to be the most successful, not necessarily where you want to play. Let's be honest, everybody grows up wanting to be a striker. You know, like I said, I watched a documentary on Trent Alexander. Trent was being called the new Gerrard at Liverpool, centre midfielder, all that techers. He's ended up becoming a right back, and an absolute brilliant right back as well. So I just think Ainsley has really damaged his own career. And I'm not sure what's going to happen for him at Arsenal, because clearly he's not in favour with Arteta. What happens to him next season? He may just end up sitting on the bench at Arsenal or go into a lower team in the Prem. Zach said Maitland-Niles is good enough. We just ruined him by playing him at right back instead of centre mid when he was young. I just think at the time when he was coming through, we had, you know, your Santi Cazorlas, players like that. He was never going to get in the Arsenal midfield. Fran said, big up the chat. Hope we're doing well. Big up to you, bro. Make sure you go and follow Fran. Let me know if you're on today or if you're back on tomorrow, or when you're going to be on. 6 million said, Big C, if you recall, Feyenoord's manager questioned Reece Nelson's levels too. It is a bit of a wake-up call, isn't it, sometimes, when we have these players over here in the Premier League and England internationals, and we rate them and whatever, and they go to different leagues, and managers are saying they're not technically good enough or something like that. Shout out Mrs. Penalty Spot said, we'll end up paying someone to take him off our hands, which, you know, you look at this, and I always say, you have to learn how to sell players. And the fact we turned down £20 million from Wolves, 18 months ago, we're now in a situation where Ainsley's probably running down his contract. We'd be lucky if we get 10, 15 million for him, the way things are currently going. I mean, I'm looking at it here. Ainsley Maitland-Niles' contract, I'm just trying to see when his contract runs out. He's on decent money, apparently. Ainsley's contract, let's have a look. He signed a 5-year deal at the end of 2018. How much money is he on? So he's on around 60 grand a week. He's got another year left. He's going to go for peanuts. We'll probably sell him in the summer for 10 million. Bad business again. And Ainsley Maitland-Niles having a very unsuccessful loan under Jose Mourinho. Fran's back on tomorrow. Make sure you go and follow him and go and watch his show tomorrow. Rude said could bring a Sunday League player in for one game. Our fan base would say he's Ronaldo. Too many deluded people think everyone's a baller. Listen, there is a lot of bias towards our own players, but sometimes technically they're nowhere near up to it. You remember when Jack Wilshere burst onto the scene at Arsenal, everyone said this guy's a world beater. What was it Xavi said? He said there's 20 Jack Wilsheres in the Barcelona academy. They weren't overly impressed. So I think that technical side of the game is very different, especially if you're going to try and play in midfield. Heaven Angel said, Nketiah, Nelson, Ainsley, Willock, all not good enough from fail end. Listen, I don't want to call it fail end, because on the flip side, you have to say Cesc Fabregas, Jack Wilshere, Hector Bellerin, and now obviously with Saka, Smith Rowe. So hail end does work, but certainly in that group that you've mentioned there, Nketiah, Nelson, Ainsley, and Joe Willock, I think they've been mismanaged badly by the football club. You would have liked to have thought one or two of them would have made it into the first team as regulars, and then the others would have been sold. Joe Willock, to me, is the ideal situation for Hale End, in that if you're not quite good enough to be in the first team, you go on loan, do well, we sell you for 25 million. I'm pretty sure Newcastle are looking at Joe Willock now thinking, was he even worth 25 million? But they bought him on the hype. We've mismanaged Eddie Nketiah. He'll walk away for free. Nelson, who they said at England youth level was highly rated more than Jadon Sancho. Sancho's a £72 million winger. Nelson's on loan in Holland, and the manager's questioning his ability as well. Ainsley will probably leave for peanuts. So they have to learn how to manage these youngsters. Maybe look at the way Chelsea do it and how they're selling so many players for big money out of their youth system. Buenos Aires Guna, big up Curtis, bro. I'll gladly play Waterboy if it was for Arsenal. Come on, we'd all do it. We'd all do it, people. You know what I mean? Happily. Nimbo, yesterday's Big Six show was funny. Steve was rattled. I dropped a couple of comments in there, but it was just funny. It was funny because Steve is high flying, obviously. You know, Man City are incredible, so to see him get cooked like that was it was enjoyable. I can't lie. I threw a few petrol station jibes at Man City in the chat and stuff like that. But yeah, it's all good fun. Quality show as always, man. Bellerin, anything but a footballer, yeah. But at the end of the day, you know, 4 or 5 years ago, Barcelona were talking about paying 40, 50 million for him. So sometimes it's you got to look at the way we develop those players as well, you know. Are we looking after them? Fabregas was no way Hale End. Yeah, to be fair, he came through the Barcelona academy. We got him at 15, so he only had a year really there. So we have to give that credit to Barca, to be honest. Rastaman said, "Bless up, Curtis. Hey, big up, bro. Hope you're well." O'Leary said, Big C, it's not the end of the road for Ainsley. Smith had an unsuccessful loan at Leipzig. Look at him now. Ainsley will eventually get it right. I think the problem with Ainsley, though, compared to ESR had the bad loan spell at Leipzig. Then he went to Huddersfield and had a good loan spell. Really got him ready for the first team. Where Ainsley has gone to West Brom, not done well, got relegated. Gone to Roma, they're saying he's not technically good enough. It'll be very difficult for him to fight his way back into things unless he's just willing to be a squad player. Stop the cross, says Nimbo. Hey, big up to everyone who let me know yesterday, man, because I obviously wasn't aware of that. For those that don't know, I had a bit of a meltdown on the weekend doing the Man City v Tottenham watch-along. I was saying stop the cross to Joao Cancelo. Harry Kane scored the winner. Paddy Power clipped me up and put me all over their advert 3 times. People were messaging me thinking I'm a Manchester City fan. I'm telling them, you know, I'm an Arsenal fan, mate. I was just fuming because I want Arsenal to get top 4. Led to a lot of confusion, but lots of fun. Big up to everyone who let me know. It's all fun and games, innit, people? You got to stop the cross, people. You have to stop the cross. Granite Xhaka's in the chat. He said, I wouldn't trust Ainsley with my garbage. How is he going to start ahead of me? Granite's back, people. Granite is back. Was Chesney Hale Ender? That's interesting. Chesney. I believe he did play for the youth team. I'm not quite sure what age we got him, though. So some of you may know more than me. Let us know. Nick, I saw the Paddy Power advert. Hey, big up, bro. And like Nimbo says, free marketing, man. The game is the game, people. The game is the game. Chris said that was fantastic. Stop the cross. You have to stop it, people. Ross, I was bigging up Cancelo before that, and as soon as that happened, there you go. Ruins everything for us. Jeff, thank you for your kind donation, bro. Much appreciated. He said, big up Curtis. Please can you put this towards boxing gloves, cricket stumps, rugby boots, and whatever else Cruz wants. You know what, yeah? Just to show you this. I don't know where his boxing gloves are. He stayed up and watched the Kell Brook fight with me on Saturday night. The next day, he wants to be Mike Tyson. And I was straight in the shops, and I've been wearing these for about the last 4 days. He's just been punching my hands every day. So they've already been bought because I thought, let me get them because he was punching me in the arm the rest of the time. So I thought, let me at least get them. So he's already on that road, bro. But hey, I appreciate your kind donation, Jeff, as always. Thank you very much. I'll treat him to something else. Cliff, appreciate your donation, bro. I hope you're well. Said Ainsley Maitland Niles is not at fault. Poor man management. Gareth called him up when he was being played. Arteta gets the ump with him and the kid's career is halted. I've said many times, and I do agree with you, I think that Mikel Arteta has managed Ainsley Maitland Niles very poorly. I really do. This guy was in the England squad. There was talk of him going to the Euros. He can play right back, right wing back, left wing back, centre mid. Next minute, the man can't get a kick. Even earlier this season, he got man of the match at home against Watford. He didn't play after that. Hey, come on, man. We're out here, bro. You have to stop the PRO, says Temi. Michael said, good, he's punching. Those my 4-year-old punch my bag, man. It hurts. Listen, man, you know what it's like, man. You gotta teach the youths, man. They gotta be able to look after themselves. You know how it is out here, society nowadays, man. Big up Cruz Tyson. Hey, come on, man. Big up Christian. Thank you for your super chat, bro. We have to manage the academy better. The Willock Iwobi move should be the standard. Hale End has produced plenty of value. We've missed the windows to sell. We had plenty of chances to profit off Eddie and Ainsley. I mean, just for example, we turned down 11 million last summer for Eddie from Palace. The year before, we turned down 20 million for Ainsley. So that would have been, over 30 million for those two. 25 for Willock, 35 for Iwobi. We've got to be a little bit more street smart when it comes to handling that kind of business, man. 100%. Storm Steel said, stop the cross merch incoming. Get your invoice to Paddy Power. Somebody from Paddy Power followed me, actually, and messaged me. They actually thought I was a Manchester City fan. I had to put them in their place, man. They say, nah, man, I don't support that club. But the meltdown was Arsenal-related. Cancelo turned into Bellerin. He's great going forward. I still think defensively, man. Look what Martinelli did to him the other week. He ruined him. But I do rate him, but... KP said Eddie is worth £5. If that, I'd expect change out of that £5. I'd love it if Ainsley Maitland-Niles came back and made a success of things. So would I, man. He's come through Hale End. He's an Arsenal fan. You'd love to see him do something here, but it's just not happened at the moment. John Layat said Chesney wasn't Hale End. We got him from Legia, but Jamie O'Hara was Hale End, so was Bentley. I've got a Danielson background waiting for you. I'm still waiting for it. Yo, Bentley, man. You know what? I met him in Marbella a few years ago. He's got a bar over there, and he was speaking about how he fell out of love with football, retired at 29, said, how much he wanted to make it at Arsenal. He had a good spell at Blackburn, and it just didn't happen for him. So, yeah, big up to each and every one of you anyway. Great comments as always, and appreciate everyone's input as always. So, Ainsley on his way out. Something that I just want to talk about quickly before we get into the next story. For those of you who watch me on a regular basis, you'll know that I am a massive fan of this guy here in the picture, man. I mean... literally a gunman. The fact he's pointing his fingers like that. And it was on this day in 1997 that Nicolas Anelka was bought from PSG for £300,000, man. I mean, you just can't find bargains like that. Even on the TK Maxx sale rack, you won't find a better bargain than that. 300 grand for Nicolas Anelka. He was later sold to Real Madrid for £23 million 2 years later. Wenger used the funds of the transfer to create the best training facility in English football at the time and used the remaining 11 million to sign Thierry Henry. I mean... Man, Arson, man, what a genius that guy was. He finds Anelka for 300 grand and replaces him with a training ground and Lasuk himself. I mean, look at that, man. Gold badges on the arms, gunman, gun fingers, French international. How times have changed, eh? We've gone from this to Lacazette and Eddie and Nketiah. I mean, I prefer not to speak. If I speak, I'm in big, big trouble. But as I said, man, this guy, for me, does not get the respect he deserves at Arsenal. You can go on so many Arsenal podcasts. You will hardly ever hear this guy's name mentioned. I don't know why. Do they dislike him because he played for other English clubs? For me, genuinely one of the best strikers I've ever seen at Arsenal. I absolutely loved this guy. Glenn Holder, thank you for the super chat. Arteta, good, but not a manager. Couldn't manage him. It's a bit of brewery. Yeah, he dropped the drink, mate. South London's finally said, Henry said himself, Anelka was more talented than him and a natural striker. Henry was not a natural goal scorer like that, although it worked out for him. RSPB Gaming, Big C. Busy today, so we'll watch the stream back later. He was a journeyman. I mean, you say that, but he won the Champions League at Chelsea. Did he win it at Chelsea? I think he was part of their Champions League winning squad. Or he played in the Champions League final that they lost to United, but he won the World Cup. He won the Champions League at Real Madrid. I would not call him a journeyman. He just played for a lot of teams. Original gunman Anelka, man, I'm telling you. For the youngers who ain't seen much of him, trust me, go on YouTube and type his name in. That is a player. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Lasuk. Gooner Gang TV, ahead of his time, man. Yo, Anelka was ahead of his time, let me tell you. Good documentary of his as well. I think it's on Netflix. I watched it. Pretty good, man. He was a bad man striker. Yeah, even at Bolton, he was balling out, man. Kevin Davis elbowing man in the face. And Anelka just running man ragged, man. I'm telling you. JJ Kocher, all them, man. Bolton had a team back then. Dre said, Mihala, respect to all the gunman. Hey, gunman, keep gunman friend. Come on, man. Anelka's not playing, but bad man player. Bad man player. The documentary is cold. Right, from one gunman to another potential gunman. Couple of strikers we're being linked with today. I'm going to start off with the wild one that I'm going to apologise to everyone before I even bring this up on the screen because I don't think it's going to happen. But as I say, don't shoot the messenger. Mikel Arteta wants Joao Felix. Now, you're all thinking the same thing. You're all like, what? What? I know what you're all thinking. But I'm just here to report it, people. According to Eduardo Indo, who is a reporter over there in Spain, he says Joao Felix is a very good player. Arsenal want him. Simeone, his objective is to change Felix for Guedes. The problem Atleti is having is that he cost 120 million euros, and getting that back is something that can only be done if he is sold to the Premier League. I mean, like you said, we got more chance of probably getting Felix the cat than we have getting Joao Felix. Let's be honest, you know. Although he probably won't want to come to the Prem, to be fair, with Zuma here, but we won't talk about that. Joao Felix, people. First of all, I think he's a brilliant player. He's not a gunman striker in terms of when you look at his numbers, he doesn't score huge amounts of goals. I've said many times, he looks a Manchester City striker for me. I'm genuinely shocked that Pep's never gone and signed him. He ticks the boxes. He's 22. His link-up play is brilliant. He doesn't score many goals. He's in his third season at Atletico Madrid. First season, 6 goals in 27 games. Last season, 7 goals in 31 games. This season, 3 goals in 17 games. He hits the back of the net probably less than Lacazette. So in terms of numbers and goals, it's not the one. Could he play up front in the Prem as well with the physical kind of side of the game? More chance of João Moutinho. Dre said, no, we don't need him. I think he's a brilliant player. I think if he played off a striker, you get a lot out of him. You play him up front and let him lead the line. But I just get the impression that Arteta doesn't necessarily want an out-and-out goal scorer, but I just don't see this one happening. I'm not going to talk about him for too long. Perfect false nine. Sacco said those are Nketiah numbers, I'm telling you. Shalito said blame Simeone. I never understood why he went to Atletico Madrid, because the kind of player he was, I was like, I just don't see him thriving in Simeone's kind of football. But maybe he was looking at somebody like Griezmann, who's a bit of a kind of false nine, and he thrived under him. So maybe he would have thought it could work. My personal opinion on him, I think he's a very good player. I know the numbers don't suggest that. I don't think he's an out-and-out goal scorer. I think you play him off someone, or you play him false nine with two goal-scoring wingers. I rate him highly. He would cost a fortune. Apparently, they want at least £90 million for him. I don't see Arsenal paying it, and I don't see him coming to Arsenal anyway. So, Felix the cat rather than Joao Felix, I think. Penalty spot. Is he physical enough for the Prem? Interesting. I mean, I think he's a Firmino kind of player. You get him to come and link play. You don't really put him up against the centre-backs too much, and you get wingers around him. I've got to admit, I like him, which is crazy when you look at those numbers, but I am a fan of him, but I just don't see how we'd ever get that deal done at that kind of number. Christian said, Felix is a baller, bad system, he would unlock our wingers. John said, I don't think Joao Felix is a good fit for Arsenal. When he first hit La Liga, he was the next big thing. His form has dropped dramatically. Darryl said he's a City or Liverpool type of player, 100%. The link-up man with the goal-scoring wingers. Ademi is clear of him, said Sacco. Navarre said 90 million. Good luck getting 40 Simeone. Somebody will buy it. Somebody will buy him. But he just, I don't think it's the right player for Arsenal at this right time. He ain't going to be no good if we're putting 17 crosses into the box. That's for damn sure. Good player. Doesn't suit the part the bus system, said Micah. Totally hear you on that. He needs to play in a free-flowing type of style. Shalito said, we are copying the Man City system. It's not surprising that he's going to copy Pep, who he's seen close up, who's worked so well. Dan said top ballers want to work for the Everton player. Oh, man. Everton Arteta, yeah? Who, maybe, like I said, maybe he's copying David Moyes. Mr. G said, big up Curtis in the community. CSTV, best on YouTube. I appreciate your kind words. Rude said he's better than Bobby Firmino. I mean, Firmino's had a lot of injury problems. I could see him maybe going to Liverpool. Dre said, what is Arsenal's identity? That's a very good question, to be honest. I'm still trying to figure it out. Ballistic Banana. Thank you for your super chat. He will elevate Saka and Martinelli, but he costs too much. I don't see Arsenal dropping £90 million on Joao Felix. I just don't. I like him. According to the report, Arteta, he's a big, big fan of him. But that's not going to happen, in my opinion. I don't want to play with a false nine in the biggest names. You need a gunman. And I'm a believer in that. Strikers Union. I don't love seeing this false nine thing. I don't mind if you've got Salah and Mane out wide who'll score you 20 goals from out wide, but I still think you need a striker sometimes to go and get you the goals, and I think that's part of the reason at times that we have struggled, because we don't have that striker. Rory said, imagine a front three of Martinelli, Felix and Saka. Yeah, it's lively. Look, it sounds good. Graham said, Curtis, forget Felix, David and Isaac. Patrick Schick is the man for the job. We'll chip in with around 10 goals. Links play well, and he can play lone striker. He does that with Czech Republic. And the interesting thing, every time we talk about strikers, somebody jumps in the comments and says, why are Arsenal not going for Patrick Schick? He is 26, which is a good age. He scored 20 goals in 20 league games this season. He's having a brilliant season. 3 goals in 5 Europa League games. He got 5 goals in the Euros for Czech Republic, including goal of the tournament from the halfway line against Scotland. Surely somebody has to look at him. Now, I'm not going to lie. I don't know how good he is altogether. I haven't seen loads of him. I'd seen him play a couple of times prior to the Euros. I watched him in the Euros and a couple of times since. I genuinely don't know. I always have concerns when you sign a player from the Bundesliga, man, because I thought Timo Werner was brilliant until he came to Chelsea. So you just never know, but definitely someone we should look at. Gary said Talk is Cheap is out now, not 7 p.m. There you go. Big up to you. Appreciate the community letting me know. Make sure you go and check that show out. I had a good show today. We recorded it this morning, but they've put it out early. So there's your afternoon sorted, people. Bundesliga tax. I do think it's a real thing. You know, I've never seen a league in Europe where defenders defend on the halfway line so much. You go and watch Bundesliga highlights and go and see how many of the goals are just a through ball and they're one-on-one with the keeper. I've never seen a defence like it. Hey, Wolves FL or FI, is that? Apologies. Big up Curtis in the chat. Good vibes. Hey, listen, we're looking forward to the game on Thursday. Good banter, but we won't be bantering on Thursday. We're going to turn them Wolves into puppies again. I hope so anyway. If not, I may go quiet for a few days. But it's definitely a big game. Jake said defenders are levels in the Prem. Definitely a lot more structured defensively in the Prem, I think, than Bundesliga. Listen, don't get me wrong. There's going to be scenarios and situations with different leagues all the time. You know, Kesman came from Holland. He was terrible. But Van Nistelrooy came from Holland. He was unreal. In the French league, you've had Gervinho came from Lille. He was terrible. But Eden Hazard came from Lille. He was a world beater. Same as Germany. Kevin De Bruyne and Son came from Bundesliga. They're brilliant. You know, we've obviously signed... you know, players like Anelka and obviously Henry came from Juve. There's always going to be times where you can say they've been a success and they haven't. But there's just something about the way they defend in the Bundesliga that always worry me when you sign an attacking player from there. But you never know. Man said, puppies, we are Wolverhampton Chihuahuas. Little ankle biters, man. We'll kick them Chihuahuas off. I actually think Timo Werner has elite movement. But it's just, you know, he doesn't convert enough. Sacco said Werner and Sancho felt at home playing against Leeds, who play like a Bundesliga team. The way Wolves defend is insane, man. It really is. Gunnar Dan said fans need to realise that the Arsenal style we knew with Henry and Arba-esque strikers are not what Arteta wants. Unfortunately, his tactics call for a hold-up, link man, target man style. And I think what it is because you look at it and you think, right, you had Ian Wright, who was movement, you had Anelka pace, you had Thierry Henry pace, you had Aubameyang pace. The only real strikers who we've had in this last maybe couple of decades that have been a little bit different to that have been successful, you could say, are Giroud and Robin Van Persie. Now, Robin Van Persie was different level to Giroud, by the way. But I think fans don't get excited by that kind of striker. And there aren't many great ones because the strikers now seem to be leaning towards the false nine rather than the out-and-out number 9 striker. So it is interesting. I said yesterday, I've got to be honest, I think Arsenal will try and get Calvert-Lewin, which personally doesn't excite me that much. But I think that's what he wants, somebody that can hold the ball up, that will win headers, that will score goals from crosses, and will link up with the wingers. And that's what I think. He wants a striker to take the workload away, to free up those wingers. And I think he wants your Smith Rowes, your Martinellis, and your Sakas to be the main goal scorers at Arsenal. Very similar to what Pep and what Jurgen Klopp do. 1.6k in the chat. Smash the likes up. Let's hit 1,000 likes if possible, people. Subscribe. Road to 50k settings. Follow the Twitch channel and download Spitch. Links in the description. South London's finest, man. Legend every time, man. Big up to you, bruv. Osimhen is a better version of Calvert-Lewin. Listen, I said this before many times. A lot of people have been saying, what striker would you take? Osimhen would be number 1 target for me. He's a little bit rough around the edges, but he would be the number 1. That is for sure. He would cost more than Calvert-Lewin, though. Alan said Kanu, Adebayor, Giroud. That's a good point. I forgot about Adebayor. Adebayor, though, the difference with him, he could move and run as well. He wasn't just a straight up and down stand-up front striker. He could run in behind. Kanu was very much a backup player, let's be honest, but a very, very good player. Turkish said he would take Werner right now. Listen, I can understand why. And I can also, we spoke about this the other day with Timo Werner. I don't think Arsenal fans would welcome him. That it would look, as another Chelsea flop. We've signed David Luiz, we've signed Willian. I just don't think Arsenal fans would want a player from Chelsea. We looked at it the other day, as I said, I think Werner would cost 40 million at least. 30, 40 million, and he's on 200 grand a week. He's going to want at least the same. It's too big of a risk. He could equally come to Arsenal and still be missing chances left, right and centre. I've said many times, his movement is sensational, genuinely sensational. He gets so many chances, but I just don't think the Premier League is for him. I can see him going to Dortmund when Haaland leaves in the summer. So no, I personally wouldn't sign Werner. Scar said, I'd take Werner, good player, very sharp movement, but he misses. And Chelsea create more chances than we do. That's what you got to remember as well. Chelsea got Havertz and all these players around him. We're less creative than them. So he'd have even less chances. Oh my Jay said, Werner would stink out the Emirates. I have to admit, I couldn't see it working. Zach said, Darwin Núñez, my number one. A lot of people mention him. It's funny because when we played against Benfica last year, in the glory days of Europa League, I wasn't that impressed with him, but he's had a really good season apparently. And a few people have mentioned Darwin Núñez. He was actually linked with a move to West Ham. 18 goals in 19 games this season. He only scored 6 last year, so he's definitely having a big year. And he's got 7 caps for Uruguay. Wolves, thank you for your super chat, bro. Said Thursday prediction 0-2 as Arsenal same destiny than Spurs and United winning, Molineux losing home. Arsenal haven't beaten Wolves at home since Wolves were promoted back to the Premier League. I actually predicted a 2-0 win to Arsenal, so let's see. It's going to be a good game. We'll speak afterwards. Let's see how it goes. Jeff said, I think Werner would have been better at Liverpool, and he actually turned down Liverpool to go to Chelsea because apparently, he wasn't confident he could get into the Liverpool team with Firmino, and also Chelsea offered him more money. But looking at it, I think he made a big mistake. He would have suited Klopp's style a lot more with the high press and the pacey front three. Rashawn, sorry I'm late to class, Mr. Shaw. Mazet class. What do you think about White v Fury? Listen, you know me, I love boxing. Second favourite sport. I like that fight. I like that fight a lot. From the outside, I think it's very clear that Tyson Fury will be the favourite. But I think that'll be a good fight, and I think it will be a dangerous fight for Fury because even though Dillian is not probably at the level of boxing skill as Tyson Fury, he's beaten Fury in sparring. He's knocked him out apparently more than once in sparring. And styles make fights. Sometimes, you can be better than somebody, but their style troubles you. I think Fury is the favourite. I think he's more skillful, quicker, more stamina. But White will make life difficult for him. He's a big guy, and he's not easy to just get out of there. So it'll be a good fight. It'll be a very good fight. But I would still probably lean towards Fury if I had to pick a winner, but it'll be good. All the build-up to that fight will be good. That is for sure. I find it hard to believe he knocked him out anyway. Yeah, I mean, apparently it's common knowledge. A couple of times in sparring, he's dropped him. But like you said, sparring is different. The intensity is not there. And it'll be a good fight. Very good fight. I'm looking forward to that one. I think it's in April. Just waiting for Joshua to get that fight with Usyk sorted. He don't seem like he wants it. Final striker we've been linked with, people, and it was the main title of the show. And that is Jonathan David. Now, he has been talking, and his agent has been talking as well. And he's talking about the Premier League, talking about leaving in the summer. His agent said he's one of the best young strikers in Europe. Canada on the verge of qualifying for the World Cup. He's led them there. Everything is going well for him at the moment. They'll be playing against Chelsea tonight, actually. I won't be doing a watch-along, unfortunately, tonight. My next watch-along will be tomorrow night, Atletico Madrid against Manchester United. So join me for that. Obviously, I'll be doing the 2 p.m. show tomorrow as usual. Press conference reaction will be tomorrow. From Arteta. So, yeah, Jonathan David, 12 goals in 25 games. And a few goals in Europe, and he's doing well for Canada as well. 9 goals in 15 games for them. Apparently, can be bought this summer for £37 million, around 45 million euros, which is a good price, really, for a 22-year-old striker with a lot of potential ahead of him. Wolves saying go Canada, first time since Mexico 86 for Canada. Jay saying his agent met with Arteta at the training ground in November. Charles Watts said it. Chelsea v Lille ain't a great game. I got to be totally honest, man. I was thinking about streaming it, but I'm one of these people. If I'm not motivated by the game, I can't stream it. And for some reason, I don't see it being an exciting game. It'll probably end up being like 4-3 now, I've said that. But what do you guys think? Jonathan David, you know what? It wouldn't be a Curtis Shaw stream without a poll. You know, more polls than a strip club, mate. So let's get a poll up. Jonathan David for 37 million this summer. Would you take that? Or do you think, number one, that he's not good enough? Or number two, that there's a better option? Would you sign Jonathan David? Would you sign David for 37 million? There you go. Personally, I like the price. I do like the price. As I've said, I like Osimhen, but I think that is a very good price for a young player. Bear in mind, we do need 2 strikers. So let me know. The poll is up. Get your comments in. MD said yes. I think Juventus match should be good. They got Villarreal, right? Unai Emery. Strip club settings, man. Bargain said Gunnar. Brendan said I'm Canadian and David isn't good enough for Arsenal. Well, there you go, people. It's why we need insight, people. More polls. Oh, hey, man. Bluey said the Canadian R9 has huge potential. Listen, anytime you put R9 to anyone's name, I'm offended straight away. No, all joke aside. Joao said, isn't he the same size as Lacazette? I don't think him being tall or not isn't the issue. It's how good he is, you know. Didn't Edu meet his agent? He's a good second choice, said Southland, so you don't see him as the main man. Rowan said he loses the ball too much. Reem said in this market I'd sign him, but he needs competition for starting lineup. OGD said, there you go, a Canadian telling man he's not good enough. HICM said David would be the perfect replacement for Lacazette. However, Osimhen and Brozier would be lit. You know what? I don't know what it is, but yeah, I would love Osimhen at Arsenal. I really would. It's the pace. Bakuta, thank you very much for becoming a member on the channel. Member stream will be on Thursday, people. I was going to do it on Wednesday. We'll do it on Thursday around 4-5 o'clock before the game on Thursday evening, so we can preview the game, this, that, the other. So member stream, members who like to come on and have a chat, we'll be doing that on Thursday, people. Mangi said, yep, for my second choice will be good. Moetsky said, Osimhen number 1. Micah's calling him Lacazette part 2. And I'm not sure if that's a good thing. Ulrich said, don't need him, trash. I'm personally a bit... I like him. I do like him. Yeah, I'm not sure. 85 pace on FIFA, yeah, I'll take him. Put a Hunter card on him, get him up to 95. I'm a pace merchant, I can't lie. Especially if you get one of his better cards, informs or something. Nah, listen, for 37 million, it's very hard to turn down. He doesn't even have to be the main man. Cole said Origi is better than Jonathan David. And Kay's calling him Jonathan and Kettle. Like I just said, and I always say, actually, I don't see Arsenal buying 2 strikers for big money. I don't see them buying a 30, 40 and then a 60 million pound one. I think they'll buy one for decent dough and then get a cheaper one, which is why, obviously, I've mentioned Origi a few times. Jonathan David, I think clearly the club are speaking to a number of players, and I just think it depends what competition we're in. If we're in a better competition, we can get a better striker. We can go for, you know, maybe a Lautaro Martinez, an Osimhen, or somebody big like that, you know, a bigger club. Snake Eye said, Big C, it's my wife's birthday on Saturday. What do you think I should get her for a 30-second B-Day? I will let the community decide. I'm running out of ideas. I mean, listen, Snake Eyes, I appreciate your support as always, bro. Much appreciated. I don't want to be giving you advice in terms of what you should buy your missus because, you know, if I give you advice and you get it wrong, then you're in the doghouse, mate. You know more what she likes, so... You can't go wrong with jewelry, I suppose. It's got to be expensive, though. She probably ain't going to put up with no silver or nothing like that. She's going to want diamonds, so. But, you know, I'll leave the community. I ain't trying to ruin any relationships out here. Yeah, too much responsibility, man. You know what I mean? Dre said, can the Latoro, who's a big name, produce big goals in the Prem? I doubt it. And this is the thing, like, the striker market is so... patchy at the moment in the sense that you're going to pay 60-70 million for a guy that you're not even totally sure about. You know, you go and buy Jonathan David. I honestly can't tell you how good he is really with any real confidence. Calvert-Lewin, nah, you know, all right, not great. There's a lot of players like that. People putting in suggestions, get that Lamborghini, Arsenal bed sheets, sexy underwear. I'm sure you'll enjoy that more than her, maybe. Get her a Man City season ticket, pure entertainment. Get her some Curtis Shaw merch. Not out yet, bro. Ash said, big up Curtis, hope you're good, mate, just on the lunch break. Mikel said, get her the new training kit. Oh, mate. John said, Curtis knows about the dog. We've all been in the doghouse at certain times, Pete. We've all done it, you know. Let's get some comments in before we round up. Guna Gang TV, big up to you, bro. Martinelli, Martinez, and Dybala. I mean, Dybala's out of contract this summer. I think he is in talks about extending his deal. But do you know what? There's some crazy players out of contract this summer. If they don't extend, you know, you've got Dybala. At the moment, Brozovic has not renewed. You got Frank Kessie. Obviously, Mbappe, Pogba, we ain't going to get them. But, you know, I would make an offer to Pogba just to be cheeky. Why not? Especially if we got Champions League. Osman Dembele at Barcelona. There is some great players out of contract, man, this summer. But they're going to cost massive, massive wages. Oh, apparently Brozovic signed a new deal, said Mujib. Dre said, fact is, we are not getting top four, so we need to build up. I mean, listen, I say it all the time, and I hate to say it. I think I still don't put us as favourites, but we've got to believe that we can get it. We got to hope. Listen, I've called Man United favourites, but you look at United the other day, 2-0 up. Within 10 minutes in the second half, 15 minutes, it was 2-2. They clearly have problems there. So we've still got to... We've still got to believe that we can get there and keep winning our games. My biggest concern with Arsenal is that winning the big games. You know, we got slapped by Chelsea, slapped by Man City, slapped by Liverpool. You saw Man City get beat by Spurs. We've got to take points off some of these teams when we play them. We can't lose to these teams and celebrate and say, oh yeah, we lost 2-1 to Man City. I'm so proud of the team. No, that's failure. That's not good enough. At least go and get a point. Snake Eye said, thank you to the community. Jewelry it is, got to go to Kate. Yeah, get that jewelry in, man. Get them diamonds. Rudiger out of contract as well. He would be a great signing. I'm pretty sure he'll go abroad if he doesn't stay at Chelsea. Elliot said, trust me, Curtis, I'm Canadian and a soccer coach. He would be a tremendous fit to the side. Technical, quick, clinical, and ticks all the boxes. Big up to you, Elliot, for your insight on Jonathan David. I like that, and I know you know your football as well. OGD said, I don't want no unproven strikers for Arteta to scapegoat. The thing is, if he signs the player, he's never, when you look at it, has Arteta ever scapegoated a player that he signed? If you look at the players, Saliba, Maitland-Niles, Pepe, Aubameyang, you know, he's never actually scapegoated anyone that he's bought. He's always looked after them. Guendouzi as well. These are all signings from Wenger and Emery. So, yeah, I don't think he would do that to somebody. Obviously, no, we're not taking shots. Some people were saying that David is not that good. Elliot said he is very good, but, you know, only time will tell. But for 30-odd million, I don't think it's a bad shout. Let's end the poll. 79% of you saying that you would take Jonathan David for 37 million. For me, I look at that as low risk, high reward. There's no real harm in spending that kind of money, especially when you look in today's market. When you think what other players would cost. Darryl said Jimenez of Wolves is clutch. I just don't think he looks quite as good now as he did maybe a year or two ago. Maybe the injuries had a big effect on him. David is better than Nketiah. That's all you need to know. I mean, that standard's on the floor, isn't it? Most of us in the chat are probably better than Nketiah. Travis said, I want David plus a striker entering his prime like Schick. I've got no problem trying that, I'm telling you. Gianni said, let's see what he can do against Chelsea. Definitely. Because I'm not being funny tonight. You're playing against proper centre-backs tonight. Not the ones in the French league on, but Rudiger, Thiago Silva, players like that. You're gonna have a tough game on your hands. Would you take Vigors? Plays the hold-up role well and looks pretty good. Nah, listen, he's a unit. He's tough to mark, but I think we need better than that. Dennis from Watford, I would take. He's had a good season. He really has. Greg said, I think the quality in other leagues is so low at the moment. It's scary time to buy outside of the Prem. You make a good point there. And I was saying this the other day that I think Arsenal should start cherry-picking at the Premier League lower teams. I've said it many times, you know. You can go to Brighton. There's a Basuma there who you would take. Obviously, he has a court case pending, but if he clears that up. If you went to Southampton, I think a lot of Arsenal fans would take maybe a Ward-Prowse, Brozier, is it, who's been linked? Ambrosia, as I call him, rice pudding. You look at Palace, I think Eze is a very good player. Zaha maybe a little bit past it. Leicester, you would take probably a Tillemans and Ndidi. I like Harvey Barnes as well. I like Fofana. We got to start cherry picking. Go to Wolves. I would take probably Podence. I would take Ruben Neves. People saying Antonio at West Ham. Probably a little bit old. He's 31. I would certainly take Antonio as a second choice just to come off the bench. There are lots of players throughout the leagues. Rafinha at Leeds is another one that I would look at, who I think could do well at Arsenal. You know, obviously if Pepe left in the summer, Rafinha. So there's lots of options. As I've said before, Rigi, Bowen's not a bad player. Not a bad player as well. Calvin Phillips, so injury prone, exactly, because he's a good player as well. I do like him. Laka was looking hot at Leon before he came to us. Yeah, it didn't quite work out, did it, unfortunately. Rafinha is sick. Rather take Patson from Leicester over David. Has that Patson done much in the Prem, really? Richarlison as well. Yeah, I like Richarlison as a player. I just think his personality with Arteta would just not mix. Sidon, he's back. Take Jose Perez now. You can keep him, bro. You can keep him, that's for sure. We'll come for Tillemans in the summer. Ugly Graham said David is a baller. Neto, Neves, Kilman, Anthony Ori don't want to come Arsenal. That's good for us. Don't worry, mate. When we're in the Champions League in the summer, they'll be on the train hopping to Arsenal. People, thank you very much for joining me today. Slightly shorter show today, 53 minutes. And we'll be back tomorrow, 2 p.m. And tomorrow evening as well, Atletico Madrid against Man United watch-along. Thursday, 2 p.m. content. Around 4:30, we'll do the member stream. And then the Arsenal watch-along on Thursday. So busy week ahead. Friday, we'll review the game. Sunday, we're going to do the Carabao Cup final watch-along, Chelsea-Liverpool. Lots of content this week. Tomorrow is press conference reaction. Get that syrup ready, people. Before I go, smash a like on the video. Let's hit 1,000 likes, 1,600 of you in the chat. Download Spitch, fantasy football app, just there. Download that completely free. Follow me on Twitch, link in the description. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, people. Champions League football tonight. Enjoy that. And I will see you all 2 p.m. tomorrow. Thank you very much for tuning in, everyone. Bless.